So, I am almost done with Jessie's self therapy journal. I also made her a doctor journal because she uh, has to deal with more than one doctor. And it makes a big difference, your organization, because the healthcare system is so broken. And the idea is that this self therapy journal is preventative so that the doctor journal isn't necessary in the way that it was for me or the way that it is for her at the moment. So, Pooja, this is Jessie's copy, all right? There's a lot of things that are printed out and stapled. I have copied a lot of it by hand. Basically, the first version of this journal was from maybe 2017 when one of my boyfriends at the time, one of Peter's kids, was going off to college and she was nervous because she was going to California. So that was the first version of this that I ever made. And now I'm getting to the point where I've organized the sort of table of contents so that I could replicate it. And then we have the next batch. So I'm saying that all of these journals that I'm making fall into version 1. Ari, you have your own version based on what we've talked about. One for my AIDS mom, who is going through a lot right now, and I actually started it before we knew any of this. My friend in Ghana, Godsway, I'm hoping that this is something that I could use to engage with the kids at his after school center on a regular basis. And then, so Pooja, I have one blank after that. And these will all fall into version 1. And then hopefully I'll get feedback from all of those people, because while they're working through that, I'll be working through sort of the copyright issues of some of the different things that I've printed out or that I'm referring to. And up until now, I haven't thought about the replication of it. But, my last job, because they took over the company that I was working for, was at the Copyright Clearance Center. So that's kind of exciting for me, which sounds so nerdy. And then I'm going to create a version that is published. I have published one book so far. It took a long ass time, but it's self-published and it looks like a real book. We got an ISBN number and everything. So I'll get back in contact with the editor that we worked with on that and talk about my options for having a print run of it. I'll sell it on my website and I will use it as my gift to people, because a lot of people I actually encounter on a day-to-day basis, I understand that they could be, they could use it. Who can't use self-therapy? Who can't use a haircut? Can someone please come here and cut my hair? Okay, so that is, I think, everything that I wanted to say with the journals. The idea from there is that the land that I'm developing right now, that I'll be living on by next summer, it's a decent sized property on a much bigger compound of land owned by my parents. And the idea is that I'm expanding the sanctuary that I have here onto something where I can change the structure and create the gardens that I want to have and all of that kind of stuff. And also, there'll be 2 extra bedrooms, there'll be a basement, I'm making a campsite. I just staked out where the fire pit is going to be with the help of my fellow earth tenders. And the experience of the journal can be had in my new home. And I will figure out how I want to open that to people, but I know definitely that there's going to be some sort of congregation of children. I won't even get into the synchronicities and the reasons why I'm saying that, but it's really beautiful because when I first got sick, my nephews were still pretty young, and now they're tweens and teens. One has his permit. So within that time frame, most of my friends that are my age, not Richard, but most of my friends that are my age have had children. Seeing them on FaceTime, seeing them in photos, or having them come to my house once or something, it's not the same. So it's really cool to envision this place that I'm going to be living in anyway as a center point where kids, little people, can come to heal. That's one of the messages that came through. So I'll talk to you, Pooja, Kaylee, and Marissa, separately about what that means for us. And then in the meantime, I guess I'll start a separate. Cut, take 2.